of wide receivers looking to make big plays on the field.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, look at the juke. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now Wilson on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They go read option with Wilson. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 4 yards that time. And now it's 4th down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Well, it's gutsy to go for it in the red zone. The problem there is they were in their own red zone. Why in the world did they do that?
They must have thought they had the exact play call that they needed to go a big way. And I'm still not even buying that one. I'm reaching on
You're
that.
Searching.
Actually reaching. But I do know this. On the other side of the field, that coaching staff is screaming at their defense. If you don't handle this one right here, this is a great opportunity for us. Take it away, guys. And they did.
And now excellent field position. Now Taylor to throw on second down. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. 2nd down following the run. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First down, this is Rawls. Oh, another beautiful move.
Man, that's better than the two-step, isn't it?
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Sliding out of the pocket. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On second down, it's McCoy. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Taylor now to throw on third down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So on fourth down, here comes the field goal unit for the Bills, led by Dan Carpenter. And Carpenter knocks it through, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. We got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Aaron Williams. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And here come the Bills. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination of whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Offense.
So pass interference on the defense. Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
On second down, Wilson. And his throw here is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it brings up 4th down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that. Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there. Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's third down. I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. A good pickup there of 20 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Through an opening, and there he goes. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them. It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys. Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend? Yeah, do I ever? On the ground, rolls. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. On the return, it's Brandon Tate. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. 1 man in the backfield. That's McCoy. He'll get the football here. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, second down. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them. Second down fumble. Now the offense needing to do something here on 3rd down. They go play action now. Taylor. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners, guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard,
to get a pass on Richard Sherman.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's McCoy. And some room to work. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Taylor going to hand this one off to McCoy. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. We have hit halftime. Never mind, Larry, forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the 3rd quarter of action already. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, 77 yards. And the Bills have retaken the lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule.
So conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Here's Rawls.
Whoosh.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones.
And a loose football. Rawls loses it. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Watkins alone on the left side. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Taylor with a give to McCoy. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
They'll go again to McCoy. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Bills will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. A chance for us to look now at the Bills defense. And the interception the last time they were out there ended up leading to a touchdown.
So the only thing they didn't get really was the pick 6, because that's what everyone wants. Take it immediately to the end zone, but their offense capitalized on the takeaway and turned it into the 6 points they were looking for.
Set them up pretty, got the touchdown. Now they're back out there defensively.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he hits Jermaine Kearse. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Rawls, the lone man in the... And now Wilson unhappy with something he saw there as he's going to burn a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From midfield now, here's Wilson. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end. That'll bring up second down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. A give to McCoy. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. A tackle made by K.J. Wright.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Watkins alone on the left side. And that is incomplete. Chris Gregg, his tight end, was the intended target, and it's 4th down. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They'll go with McCoy. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Rex Ryan's decision does not pay off. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And left side here, it's Graham. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Graham's got it. Complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to the ground attack. It's Rawls. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. Time running out here on the play clock. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. But he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When he'd line up, go ahead, and there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15... the risk-reward, it's just not there.
So risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
And the Bills getting set to go. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Jermaine Kearse, 39 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. Wilson going to throw for it. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And the Seahawks defense working their way back out onto the field. And the interception for them the last time, and that turned into 6 points.
You think during their break they reminded the offense that, hey, we helped you guys out a little bit, right? You know, they want to see if they can do it again for them. They're putting together an entire team game by how they're playing on defense.
So the interception the last drive, what will happen here? Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And it looks like we've got a down set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And he's got his man. It's the tight end, Clay. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the fourth with the football. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And they'll try to save the timeouts to use on defense if need be as he runs up and spikes it. 3rd down and 12. He's back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And you, as a former defender, should know that the referees are watching this closely. Defensive holding.
They watch it awfully closely. I sure wish they'd let it be 5.5 yards like they do for the offensive guys. But in this case, they were strict with the rule.
They'll try and burn some clock with Rawls. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And on 2nd and 10 now. Watkins alone on the left side. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Defense.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they've kind of got a situation here. Still 3 timeouts defensively, so maybe you try to run a play.
And if you do it as safe as possible. And I think maybe even quarterback sneak. Take care of the football and make sure that clock starts to run before they call the timeout.
We'll see what they do.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Here's Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Corey Graham, but he will not be